is it the core of the sun or what I'm seeing? But look like the planet.
Well, the sun is a planet, according to metaphysical teachings.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And we now have two planets that are joined together. When that second planet started about the middle of 2003 came out there, you could see a differentiation. You could see two distinct things. We have pictures of them because we took them there, and a lot of people there in New York. I was telling them the last time that brothers invited me down there, and a lot of them took pictures about it. They're now beginning to conjoin. They're coming together. And these evil forces here are using these chemical sprays, these chemtrails, to cause cloud formations that are not natural. So it's kind of trying to hide the sun. Why? Because those dracons down there that run them cannot take magnetism and cannot take light. They cannot take direct sunlight. It causes them to lose form and takes, well, that's another whole story. But either way, you're seeing something that is there. Your eyes are not lying to you. But when you have both of those suns, that sun is helping the planet to raise its vibration and increase its own magnetic field. When that planetary magnetic field increases enough, nothing electrical will work. We're going to have days of darkness. We're going to have blackouts and brownouts because it's knocking out their satellites. You see, there are three energies that this planet can work on, and any planet under a sun can work on. One is called org. Org means organic, orgasm, organism, original. That's why people say I'm the original person. I have a big orgasm. I can get into original orgone energy. It is energy close to the universal prime creator's mind. It is high vibrating spiritual energy. The planet can operate on magnetism. Magnetism has two poles, north and south, a low frequency and a high frequency. One causes things to spread apart, one things to bring things together. But it works on the spiritual pineal pituitary complex. It works on your pineal gland, which is your spiritual gland, and your pituitary gland, which is your physical controller. When the two work in harmony, your mind, your body, the spirit, and the soul can work in harmony. That works under magnetism. But right now, they even tell you it's another thing we carry too. We carry 40 different kind of magnets. I forgot to get into that. Because that helps to diminish the pain, strengthen the myelin sheath around your nerve endings, helps you to heal faster. And in fact, a lot of the brothers, I'm kind of getting on a tangent here, but a lot of brothers now are getting these PSA tests, these, what do they call this thing, this prostate-specific antigen tests. Don't ever do that. Not even necessary. It can be checked out in 5 seconds just using kinesiology. But nevertheless, they're telling you it can't. But what happened is that is your spiritual orchic gland that is being caused to swell. And that's your little sun below the navel. That's your sun within a sun that you have in your body, and men have, women don't have it. They've never been told this. So by using gold and magnets, you can begin to use that energy in a more, sex is good and sex is wonderful, but sometimes you want to use that to stay alive and to strengthen your psychic ability and your spiritual ability to control your physical body. All of that is energy that takes time to create, and you have to channel it. So the last one is electricity, going back to these three energies that a planet under a sun can utilize. The last one is electricity. Electricity is your lowest vibration that you can use and still stay an atom or whatever you want to call it. And not only are they using that, they're using ELF waves, extra low frequency. You can't get any worse than that, can't get any lower than that, and that's why everything down here is so daggone physical, and they're trying to make you sub-physical and even die. But as our planet is going upward, you can begin to use finely orgone energy. That's why they have orgone energy generators. You can use magnetism. You can use every kind of spiritual channel you can. It's just up to what do you choose to be for food, for drink, and for your thought. You're a matter of choice, and you're the product of your choice.
Okay. All right. I just want to comment on one more thing about the vibrations. I've been experiencing that a lot. I'm thinking my phone was in my pocket on vibrate. I'm like, man, whole body just like I got a foam in my pocket, especially on my right side.
Well, if you really want to use that energy well, try doing these green things, these organic things, Corella, spirulina, barley grass, wheatgrass, dose, royal jelly, stuff like this. We have all that up on we have a whole daily energy kit. If you're traveling or so, don't have time to juice all the juices, you take that powder, put it in some good water or carrot juice or vegetable juice, and watch the vibrations. If necessary, you can even drop some gold into it. So it's a lot of things you can do now, but of course they're not going to tell you that because they want you to stay like an animal, and many of the brothers and sisters now are acting like animals because they're being influenced by these these towers that are up everywhere about all this bad food, and they're mind controlled. It's just literally that. You have to fight not to be mind controlled, and you have to be wise enough to understand that the angelic side of you is stronger, but if not, they'll take you over in a minute and have you do everything low they can think of. Because you won't be thinking, they'll be thinking for you.
All right, thank you. I'm definitely going to visit your website. Thank you.
Thanks for the call, brother. Peace.
All right. Peace.
No doubt.
Yeah, Dr. Blaire, how harmful is fear to our melanin and to our whole body?
Fear is the lowest vibration you can have. That's why they want to instill fear on everything you do. Every time you, this is why when I started the program, and again, it's very interesting too. Beyonce's other name, of course, there's Sasha Fierce. Okay, fear and fierce are the same kind of thing. It means that when you have fear, you can't connect with a higher consciousness. When you're fearful, you're afraid to do anything. You begin to even enclose yourself. You're afraid to make a move. You're afraid of this and that. That's a low vibration fear. That's what the reptiles strike into you. They want you to fear them because there's an energy you give off that they can live on. It's a low vibrating energy. When you have strength and courage and consciousness and spirituality, you can feel as you say these things, you grow past all of that. There came, well, I don't want to get into that, but
get into it, brother. Come on.
Well, like I say, I had a fear. This is why I told you when I stopped fearing death. After they killed my wife and tried and poisoned me, it's just that the Creator kept me to do what I'm doing. That took away every fear. I wanted to die. I was so hurt. I wanted to die. And once I got past that, I was born again. Because then the thing I had feared the most, I asked for because I was so miserable here on earth. Once you're miserable on earth, and yet understand that you can be a God on earth, and that there is a Creator you can reach, the whole thing's changed. They couldn't kill me then. They tried 5 times since that time. It hasn't worked simply because I lost fear, and I now have the consciousness of an angel because I believe there is a Creator, and I believe they are not the ones, and I don't want to follow them. Once you make that resolution, you will only eat certain things, do certain things, think certain things, and the fear factor leaves. If you notice, everything they do now is fear factor, bringing the worst of the physical fighters together, the worst of the mental fighters together, getting everything they do clashing, because the planet is clashing with them, the planet wants to get rid of them, and to qualify to stay on the planet, you got to lose fear because you're so busy living each day. And doing so much, fear doesn't have time to crowd your mind. You make them fearful because you're now a God-created creature awake, a spiritual soul on the move. You're dangerous.
In our existence down here, Dr. Blaire, how important is it for us to find our significant other?
If you can find your significant other and she or he becomes more significant, you're blessed because it gives you a little bit of heaven while still on earth. We escape through sex with coming and with the love that comes in there and the spark that gives you life. But the same thing also, if it can be done on the mental plane and spiritual plane, it gives you the courage to ascend. The kind of souls that come through, the word conception means to conceive mentally. Finding someone that you can find that vibrates with you is one of the most wonderful things you can do on the planet Earth. But it takes you to a little bit of heaven, which our planet's going to become anyway. If and when, and I do believe in my soul that that's going to happen, our planet reaches the 5th dimension, you'll already be in heaven. We'll be in a constant state of bliss because we'll be in what they call now the 7th heaven. The 5th vibration of Earth is the 7th heaven of Earth. It's the higher realms. So you'll not have to die to be in heaven. You'll be in heaven on earth because the evil forces that have been causing fear and holding you down will be gone. You'll start to do the things that the impulse from the universal creator's mind tells you to do, rather than being influenced by these ads and ad men and bad food and bad water and all these evil negative things. Anybody can be evil and negative. It doesn't take much. But when you ascend in consciousness and still use your body as it's supposed to be used in all parts, not just one, you'll be surprised the bliss that can come. Yeah, you're blessed if you can find one.
Okay. Let's get to another caller. Caller from 347595. Caller, are you there?
Hi, AK, the Shibanu. Delbert Blaire, how you doing?
Okay, who am I speaking with?
Joel, you met me before over at Rich Stand. You was talking about.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's important that with the frequency. I heard you talking about good water. I deal with the Kangen water. I don't know if you know about it, but I'm trying to get people to use the Kangen water, and I also make the frequency disc that I gave you one, and I tell them, yo, play this in front of your frequency, and it's going to raise your vibration. I was talking with Brother Rich about this, and I'm like, yo, why is it so hard to get it? Because even